Today we're going to make a lure dryer. These guys go for about $90 and up. I built this one out of scrap wood and I bought a little motor for it for $15. I have another video showing the rough design that I made before, and I'll put a link to that. I'll also put a link to where you can buy the motor, at least here in the States. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. So if you saw my other video where I made this little dryer, you can see I threw it together real quickly using scrap wood and it looks pretty nasty. So I decided to make something a little bit better looking, but also a little more functional. One thing, this little block here was on here, and I hold my paintbrush against that when I'm painting lines around lures. I wanted that to be able to come off because I want to put a circle on here for certain things. Other times I just want that screw there. So I've decided to put it on a base. I'm not going to take this apart. I'm not going to bother. If you were to make one, you would just have a base and you would just need like a little block coming up and drill a hole through it for your dowel, and the same in the back. This piece of wood I had, scrap, wasn't tall enough to drill a hole all the way through, so I just cut a half a hole there. But that's going to go there. And so I had this bright idea of having a piece of wood here. Now this is much longer, of course, than this thing was, so that I could paint longer lures and still put circles around them if I want to. So I cut out this slot on my table saw, and I was going to do this on my router, so that there's just a little nub coming down there that would fit right into that slot. And then when I didn't want it, I could take it off. I decided that's a lot of work for such a silly little thing, so I'm just going to glue and brad nail this onto this little piece of wood, and I can just stick it there and clamp it to the table. Use my paintbrush, unclamp it, put this away. That's going to be it. So I'm just going to have a box across here. Since I made it the video, I did add a switch. I was getting sick of plugging it in and, oops, can't see that. I did add this switch here. Little plastic box that I had for years and years and years, and a little switch that I had for a long time. You can get these at any electronic store. Most hardware stores will have them. This actually came from Radio Shack. So I wired that in. This is going to go here permanently, so it's not hanging out here. And again, there'll be a piece of wood coming up here. So I screw little lures like this on. Take a paintbrush, put little circles on there. I can put big wooden lures on there. When I dip lures into paint, the paint would all run and gunk up on the bottom, so you put it on here, this turns, lets it dry nice and evenly. But I want to put a wheel on here, so I'm going to make a little wooden disc, put this foam on it, and this, take some alligator clips and stick them on here around, so that when I'm doing like jigs, dipping jigs, I can have a bunch of them drawing at one time. Some foam rubber or something you could put around your disc after you cut it out. This foam came from, I shoot air guns, and when you buy your pellets from, let's see, where do I get them from? Pyramid Air. They come packaged like this. So you take this, your pellets out, and then when they ship 22 caliber pellets, this needs to be a bigger hole. So this comes right out. And that's how I got that. But just a strip of foam rubber, something like that would work. So I'm going to cut out a disc and put this on it. going to brad nail and glue this onto this. This needs to be attached to this piece of wood. This needs to go in here. And then I'm going to build a box and paint it. Oh, so now that I've decided not to use the slot, I put this and clamp it. It's too far away to be comfortable for me to paint with. So I don't think I need this piece of wood at all anymore, so I'm just going to cut it right off, and then I can get close enough. The other thing is, this piece of wood's a little bit taller than the one I originally had, and I think it was going to work, but I just raised it another ½ an inch with this piece of plywood, so I may have to trim the top of this off also. A carpenter I am not. That's better. That's a lot better. I don't think that's too high. I think that's going to be fine. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So now I got to cut out my hole, same diameter as this thing. Find the center of it, drill a little hole in there, and I think I'll be on my way. I got to find a bolt that fits through this hole and build the sides and the back. I think it's going to work. So I cut out my disc, got it in there. I think I'm going to hot glue it in there. I found the center, drilled a hole in there. Goes right on here. I've taken some wire, put an alligator clip on there, and that will stick right on there like that. Then when I dip a jig and want to dry it, you just clip it right in there. Well, I'll dip it. I'll have to put it in there like that. And then it will turn and dry it correctly. I only have 4 alligator clips at the moment, but it looks like I can do 6 of them. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some wire, and all you got to do is bend a little loop there. Stick it on this screw, tighten that screw, ta-da! That's all there is to it. Jug of dead-on plastic came in today. Gonna do some pouring and injection soon, and got a couple of stickers came with it. So one of them's going on the microwave, and one of them's gonna go on this. I have a laser sharp sticker that'll go on this. Gotta find some fishing stickers somewhere. So this is ready to be painted. Got the switch there. Man, it's hot. In Vermont. I don't know about the weather here. Probably it's like that everywhere. I don't know. Cold, cold, cold winter. It has been in like the 40s to low 50s for a high all through May. And then the wind would blow, the wind chill factor would feel like it was in the 30s. Today it's 90. And it's supposed to be in the low 90s for a few days. And then the high's going to be in the 50s with a low in the 30s. Then it's going to be a little normaler for us, around, you know, the high 70s for a high. That's a little bit more normal this time of year. I like weather like that. It's been cold in the garage here where I work. You know, you go outside and it's been kind of nice for a few days, but in here it's, well, I mean, it's not cold, but it's not sitting around in shorts and a t-shirt weather. Today I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and I need to go hook up my fan because it's well in the 80s back in here today. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and paint this boy up. Put some stickers on it. We'll see what it looks like. So I think I've managed to not explain a couple of things. I was cutting this out with a jigsaw for the switch. Now, the switch I just kept in that little plastic box because I didn't want to take that box apart, unsolder everything, and solder everything in again. But this, I would have just flush mounted here, and I just would have drilled a hole here, pretty good size hole, but it would have been just a circle, because on the back of this switch is just a circle that sticks in there, and that's where you solder your connections with. So this could have looked a lot better if I had done that. The motor gets a little warm, so I didn't know if it might bother after running it for, you know, 20 to 30 minutes if it had been in this box. So I drilled a hole down here, and of course there's a hole back here where this cable goes in. So that allows cool air to kind of get sucked in there and come up, and I put a couple of holes on top to let the air dissipate. Of course the front of this thing is open anyways for the most part. It's a pretty big opening there. This, I drilled the hole a little too big and it doesn't fit on that screw very well. So I put a little bit of putty here. This is just poster putty. I have a ton of it. And that keeps this on there really, really good. If I'd had the right drill bit, I might have just been able to screw that on. There's other ways I could have done it, but... So there it is. It came out well, I think. It seems to work great. It does the jigs, multiple lures, one dipped lure. I get lines around the lures. I think it works all right. Hey, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.